Well, look, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're in town for Slush, amongst other things. So you've seen some record growth in, well, let's take a step back, Josh. Can you introduce everyone who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the founders of a company called Plugsurfing, which sounds like a stupid name, but it kind of makes sense. Because what we do is work with electric vehicle charging. And the reason we do this is because if you've ever driven an electric car, maybe some of you have, you might know the frustration you have with charging it in public, which is that you have many, many different networks that all operate independently of each other. So the onus is then placed on you as a user to register with every single network in order to use it. So if you put that into numbers quickly, that means that if you want to use every network in Germany, which is where we're based, you need 80 different contracts just to use all of the charging points. If you do this across Europe, you need hundreds and hundreds. So what we do is really simple. To explain, we just connect all of these charging point operators up together and allow you as a driver to then charge wherever you go and pay with one service, which is our service, and we manage the transactions.
It clips onto your keyring too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can. So it's a smartphone app, or you can use an RFID. So,
yeah, cool.
You've always got your keys in your phone. So
exactly. Exactly. Cool. So you've seen some record growth in the last few months. What's happening?
Yeah, that's right. So the market's really picking up now. We've been doing this since 2012, and it was quite tough the first few years. But really, since the Dieselgate scandal, which I think Bigger mentioned earlier, there's been a huge change now in people's understanding of how important e-mobility is, or electric cars. And so this means that all of the big companies are now lining up to work with the people that have been working hard in this area for some time, which is us. They're supporting us now. We're then getting more users on board, and we're expanding into new countries. We're getting deals with dealerships for Toyota in France, with Nissan in Germany, with Tesla in Germany. And we're now in 18 different European countries. So things are picking up really quick. Yeah.
How does it feel to see the tide turn like that? Because to go so long and to push against the tide, EVs have had a hard time. So how does that feel?
Yeah, it feels, we haven't relaxed enough yet to have the sense of I told you so, but we're all looking forward to this moment, especially because where we're based in Germany, there is where the car lobby is so very strong, and the ironic thing about this industry is that the car lobby are really against the electric car. So to see the tide turn and be on the right side of it feels really good, and it's really good fun right now, although very busy.
Any questions from the audience about what Plugsurfing are up to? What's your name? Yeah. What's your name? KV. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. I actually watched your slash pitch on YouTube last week, so it's really good to see you right there.
I had a haircut, right?
Yeah, your hair.
Yeah.
So I think it's really great to see you go from pitching on Slash to here. So maybe you can. One of the questions they asked you was, how are you going to get the different electric charging points to sign with you?
Yeah.
Can you share how you've done that and how you've grown over the time?
Yeah, man, you've done your research. Yeah, so
more than me.
So I was at Slush in 2015 as well as part of the startup pitching event, and I was in the final, which is probably the one you saw. So yeah, at that point in time, well, just maybe take it as if you're in a startup yourself, take it as a bit of spirit here, because whenever you've got an idea and you say, oh, I'm going to do something and make it big, and people will always be very negative and say, well, you can't, you're going to have problems. So in this case, the question, a legitimate one, was how are we going to get big energy companies to work with us when we were just at the time we were 4 people that looked like students living in Berlin. I mean, how are they ever going to trust you? And I think that the only answer you can give, and it's the one that was the truth, is that you just have to work hard and focus on your core product. And if you really believe in what you do, and it sounds so cliche, but it's sort of true, and if you really do it with enough focus to analyze one particular problem and get it and solve it as well as you can, then you have to realize that the big companies, so the ones that you want to work with you and eventually maybe buy you, they just don't do this. They have budgets and they throw money at things, but they waste money, and then they run out of money and they run out of ideas, and management changes and they forget about it. And if in the meantime, if you're working away at your product and you're getting it better and better and better, then in 2 years' time they come back to you and say, hey, you know what, you did it right. Now we want to work with you. And for us in that particular case, we were just building up a user base as it went. And, 1 year after that, one in 3 electric car drivers in Germany signed up to our platform. So once you have that sort of statistic, people don't argue with you anymore. And these people signed up because we were the ones focusing on that very specific problem, and we were passionate about it.
Passion and focus. Well, I had other questions here, but that was even better. So